Hello, hello, this is Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts. And it is, oh gosh, what? Wednesday evening here. Been a totally busy day. Got my house all clean. My credit card got stolen. Yes, it did. Offline, apparently. Anyway, I'm glad because I go through weekly and check all my accounts, finances and stuff. And, yeah, I'm so glad I did because, I don't know, somebody was trying to access my credit card account and, they managed to lock me out of it. And so, oh gosh. I'm glad that ordeal is over. Yes, I am. Okay, so I haven't got to make a video today. And, well, I guess I'm going to try and make one right now. Now that I've told you my troubles. I thought I would show you. On Alice, I thought... one of the other gals that's following us, she made this same journal, and she put the little bottles on it, and I didn't see how she attached them or anything. I didn't look at her walkthrough or anything because I didn't want to take any of the same ideas away from, what she had done. Anyway, she saw me making it, and she decided to make one too, but man, she was fast. So, yeah, and it looked good. I did go by and I checked it, and it looked great. And she had managed to get one of the albums, not from me, but from somebody else on Etsy. And so, anyway, she was very fast. And I'm not that quick. I'm just not. So anyway, I didn't see how she attached these, but I'm going to show you how I attach bottles to chain and stuff. Not chain, but these will attach to the Alice journal. And I have made 3 of them to attach. And these are the Tim Holtz little bottles, and you get 4, 5, 6, 7 of them in the package. And they do come with these little stickers, and I actually use glue with them to help glue them down completely. So anyway, there's that, and that's where I got these bottles. They did not come with anything in them. I have these little beads, and they don't have any holes or anything. That is actually purple. But, yeah, they're little teeny tiny glass beads in there. So I filled 2 of them with that purple, and of course you can't tell what color it is in the brown glass. So this is what they look like. So there we go. And one of them I filled with these little BB like beads. These do have holes in them, I believe. Yeah, they do. And so I'm going to use those to fill one of these little bottles. But I wanted to show you how I get my rings in them. And we'll do 2 different ways, and I'll show you that. Okay, so the first way I did it was I got a little eye pin here, because it has a little eye in it. I didn't poke its eye out, I promise. Here we go. This is what they look like. That's what 2 of them look like. Okay. So let me flop that light up a little bit. Okay. And the first thing you do is you take off your cork and you make sure that this length is going to go all the way through your cork. Now, cork is really sensitive, and a lot of times it splits. This could split, which will change everything. And frankly, I don't know what I'll do if it splits. Write Tim Holtz a letter, I guess. But in the center of this, you go ahead and you find a pin that's nice and sharp and a little bit wide, but not too wide. You wouldn't want to go with one of these big darning type needles. That's too big. So you just run this right through about the center of the cap. That's not it. You run that through and then carefully kind of walk it through the cork. This cork is exceptionally hard. There it comes. But like I said, cork is very sensitive, and it splits is what it does. Okay, so I've got a little hole in there. I can't see where I put it, but I think it's right here. So I'm going to take that little head pin, and now I'm going to push it through that same hole. If it's kind of hard to do, you can gently try and do it this way. And once you get it through just a little bit, you can take one of your little pliers. And it doesn't have to be dead center on the inside or the outside. And you pull that head pin, or sorry, that eye pin, right up. Can you see that? There, right up against the cork. Now this part here, take your little needle nose pliers, and you're just going to start making this rounded off. You're just going to twist it into a circle is what you're going to do. It's getting to be nighttime here, so now you could dangle some things from this if you wanted to dangle something in the bottle. You could just hang things in there on that little circle if you wanted. But I'm going to bend mine out of the way so you can't really see it. So I'm going to hold the top part and just slowly bend that to the side. You want to be careful, because like I said, once it splits, it splits. You're not going to get it back together. So there we go. Now we have a place to hook something onto, some chain or whatever. If I was going to hook it onto some chain, well, here's a piece right here. Here's a little smaller one. I could go ahead. Now my eye pin has still got that place that it can open. Just make sure you twist it to the side to open it. And slip your chain on there. Hold it off to the side. And then twist that closed, open and close like a door. And go ahead and push it into the cork just slightly. Now you can glue that there if you want. So right now it creates a nice little dangle, doesn't it? a cork dangle. So let's take the little glass bottle and put some beads in it. And, you know, I just put them into my hand. And I slowly pour them in there, and they go all over the place, and I pick them up and chase them around. You could put sand in there. I don't recommend putting liquid in, because liquid might, unless it's purified somehow, it can go bad, rancid. And then, you know, if it breaks, I don't know. I just don't recommend a liquid. If you wanted to put like a resin in it, you could probably do that. Just read your resin to be sure that it can go in glass, because resin gets very hot when you make it right. It gets very hot. When you make it wrong, it can catch fire and stuff. So be careful with resins. Anyway, drop those in there. See if I can drop these back in here. Yay! And then, anyway, if you want to fill it with a liquid, I'd do a resin and put a little bit of resin in it, so it's like halfway or whatever, you know, floats your boat on that. Okay, so then I took my glue, and this is the Fabri-Tac. I wonder if the E6000 would be better. Create dots of glue. Dries tacky. I want permanent adhesion. I'm going this way. And after my glue gets down here, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there around that thing. And then I'm going to put it around the cork all the way. Now these, what do I want to say? This cork does not fit the bottle tightly, but once it's glued in there, I think it'll be fine. And get ready to get a rag, because you're going to have to get that extra glue off of the bottle. Put that down in there. And find your rag for your sticky, gluey fingers. And then I just went around and cleaned it up good. It's going to get stuck there pretty good, so I used the Fabri-Tac on the others, and they seem to be fine. So there's one. Let's go ahead and... I didn't clean it up very well, did I? So anyway, stop by and tell Kathy hello and see her journal, and then come back and finish watching what I'm doing. Don't watch us at the same time. But anyway, she made a really nice Alice in Wonderland. She used the same papers, so it looks very similar. So stop by and say hello to her and take a look at her journal. And if you're not aware, if you have sent a, you can send a Memory Dex card to Carol Frugoli over at Free Spirit Arts and become a subscriber to her channel. And anyway, she's having her 1,000 people subby this weekend, Saturday. But go over and check it out on her channel. She can tell you better about it than I can, because it's her party. But she's gonna have cake and everything, so we better get our cake and hop on over there on Saturday and wish her big congratulations for hitting her 1,000 mark. I'm putting this label on. And don't forget to stop by Tammy Van Antwerp and check out her channel for her Self-Care Sunday videos. They are very helpful. And you have to see her gardens out in her backyard. It is so lovely. I just want to go there and have a vacation. So I think that would be fun. Okay, so now we've got our chain and we've got our bottle. It's pretty heavy, so I'm probably not going to put this one on the Alice journal, but I might find a place for it. You just never know. So this is one of the toppers that my daughter made for me. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And I have another one that she made for me. She made them for me to try them out for her. Isn't this pretty? This reminds me of my hippie days. Oh yeah. I love it. Did you see that? I don't know if I actually showed it to you. Did I? I don't know. Mystic Prairie on Etsy, because she lives in where the prairie is. Okay, now what were we doing? Oh, I was going to show you a second one. Now that's the easy way to do it. Now the hard way to do it is, well, I used the first one I made. I used one of these. This is a head pin, not an eye pin. It's got a little round head on it. It's just like a little tiny bead on there. There are some of these you buy and they are a lot thicker. And I tell you, they do not bend well, and the metal actually breaks off the sides when you bend them. So you want to, check your head pins as soon as you get them home and be sure that they work, because sometimes you get them and they do not. They just aren't any good. Okay, so let's just see if we can pour some of this in this one. We don't have to use the whole thing. It can be a half. Could we do half? Or we could even use a bigger bead. Could we use a bigger bead? We could, but I don't know what one I'd use. I'd rather use up some of these. I mean, I got them because I was going to do all kinds of great projects. And then I didn't. So that's the way it goes. I didn't do it. Okay, so same thing, except for this time, take your little cork and turn it upside down. See a little cork down there? Woo! There it is. You turn it upside down this time. Try to go straight through the center to the center on the top. Let's see where it comes out at. Oh my goodness. I think I'm hitting a hard cork. Oh, there it comes. Whew. Do not stab yourself. I got me some wellies for in here. I love these Band-Aids. They are the best Band-Aids in the world. I got these at Joann's. Another thing I like about them is that they're in a little tin, and the little tins are kind of decorative. And I just love that. So I have my own wellies in here, and they make me well when I stab myself with pins. Okay, now we are going to do the same thing as before, except we're going to go through the bottom. Oh gosh, which was the hole? That one or this one? It was this one. And it's not dead center. Look at that, it's off on the bottom. Okay, so push that back out a little bit and get some glue in there. And glue that pin right to the cork. Oh, can't do that if your bottle's plugged up. It doesn't work so well that way. Oh, come on. No time for fussing, glue. When your glue's stuck, you get the big needle out. And you say, take that, glue. There we go. Oh, now it works great. Put a little glue on there. You could put less on than I did. Okay, so now we have that part. I'm going to just set this on the top here for right now. I'm not gluing it in yet. And I want to put my pin away. And I am going to make a loop. Now I want to leave some space here for a wire wrap. But I don't need very much, just a couple wraps. So let's say maybe right there. Put it straight over. So you have a L, and it's only curved because this curves. Okay? Here we are. Rotate this right up. And then you'll want to bring it down about, oh, I don't know. So it's about not even half, maybe 3/8 there of the way. So we're getting a smaller circle. Bring it straight up. Got it? And then bring it over the top. And just starting off to the side just a little bit. You won't be able to get there because this cork is going to be in your way. So I'm going to squish that together as best as I can. And bring my wire over. Now, this probably won't make the perfect wrap. I'm unwrapping now, as you can see. And it broke. Look at that. Well, I have just enough there on a wrap to leave it. This wire is a little sensitive. So you wrap it, and if it breaks, you wrap what you got. But it didn't wrap like I wanted it to. So I would say, take that baby, make a teeny tiny, 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 itty bitty loop. Like that. And I'm going to hook it on there. I don't know if I can do this or not. don't think I can. I was gonna finish my loop. Finish my wrap. Okay. Let me get this. Let me hook that up. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. I'm going to opposite wrap because that's the way I've got it. Oh, man. No, no. It is nighttime. It's kind of dark in here. That's my excuse. Okay. Wrap that little puppy on there. It's just to pretty it up. This one. Let's go with this. I don't think that will do it. No. Not gonna do it. I know what we'll do. Oh, now it's on there and won't come off. Huh. Take that. I know what we'll do with it. We'll do it in just a second. Okay. Let's get this glued in. So some head pins just break naturally. And some break because they're brittle. This one is just a very soft wire. So it broke because I manhandled it. I forgot I put stuff in it. Okay. Putting that cork in there. Let that dry for a second. Gotta pick this up because I have a cat that gets up here and I don't want him lapping this stuff up. Oh, just throw it away. There we go. Oh, beads, beads, beads all over my desk. Just how I like to get some zest. Okay. So, let me go around here and get that glue off. Because no sense in leaving it a giant mess. Just because I spilled beads and broke the wire. It's good for you to see these things happen because, you know, they happen. Things happen. So, you know, nothing is perfect. We'd like it to be, but hey, no. Okay. We've glued it on, and I forgot to put my chain on it. I'll never get the chain on it now. Oh, get back in there. I don't want to break it off anymore. I'm not sure where it's... I started to loop it. And then I blew it. I'm going to leave it. Okay. So if that happens, and you forget to put your stuff on it, which I did, which was like this. But what if you could just use this? A little eye pin, or what do you call those? Bulb pin. You could just use a bulb pin. Now my lid's not glued on. It's a very loose lid here. I always just put mine down on that end. And that would work perfect. So let me get that off there though, so I don't go yanking it up. Here we go. Gonna put that over there. Okay. So, what was I gonna do? Oh, I know. Hang on. Alice's red. A lot of red in Alice's story. Uh-huh. Oh dear. So you could maybe wrap something like this around it. There's a beginning and there is an end. So we could just wrap this little thing around it. Like so. Like so. Let me get it back out there for you. Could just have a knot. You could put a bow in it. I'm just going to do a knot today, because I think the knot might do a better job of. And then with this stuff you could fray it out if you wanted. Clip it off a bit. I don't want to fray it too much because it'll come off of there. Okay, so there's that. Now we need a label. Toxic, shake well, external use only. Let's go with this square one this time. I think that'll be a nice one. So let's put that on there. You do kind of have to smush them around till they're kind of getting dry, because they want to come up. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So now we have our loop up there that we got to do something with. And you could use a jump ring on it. Or you could use a split ring. Now split rings, I recommend you use a split ring tool to loop them on, because it makes it a lot easier. But an easier option is to look in your tools and your supplies and see if you have a little jump ring. The split ring goes around twice, and they call it split because you'll have to, it splits and then you walk it onto your piece carefully. And if you have a split ring tool, that helps to split it open, so the wire opens so you can get items on there. So here we go. And let's just put this on here. Like that. I'm not a big fan of these jump rings. Just because they do tend to come open with heavier items, and this is a heavier item. Sorry, getting out a screenshot there. Oh, there we go. That's a nice closure there. Let's see. Yep, I got it. So there we go. There are two options, two different ways. And the other way is, like I showed you the other day, I used the 20 gauge wire, and I made the circle and I wire wrapped it. And that turned out pretty good. So there we go. Now we have all kinds of little bottles, and we'll be all ready for Alice for our tassel. I actually have ordered some more, some red beads to make the tassel, and I will show you a purple one that I made today. Look at that. Isn't that a pretty one? So I have a lobster claw up here. I got a cat hair on me. And then I have these. Now the way I bought this, I want to show you. I bought them at Joann's because I was there yesterday. They come this way, and these are Hildy and Joe. And the way I look at them is, when I go to buy them, is how many different pieces can I get out of this? And then I divide that by the price and see if it's worth my time and energy to do it. I figure I can get 3 pieces out of it like this. Let me bring you up a little closer. So I figured I can get 3 sections out of it. I also had to buy some caps, tassel caps. So those were a little bit of money too. But I bought those, and I bought these. These are tassel caps. So when you put the chain in them and everything, it rounds them out nicely. And it covers them up good. And you get this beautiful, lovely chain effect that is just, it's luscious, really. It just feels good. So, anyway, I think it's beautiful. So that's how I figure out my cost on them. Whether or not, how much could I sell them at a Christmas bazaar, say, or a spring bazaar, and how would I package them? What would it, I kind of am standing there figuring out all my costs inside my head. And sometimes I like something just so much that I lie to myself about it because I want it more than ever. But this actually worked out good. They were, gosh, the price of beads has gone up so bad. Used to get these for nearly nothing. And I think they were $10.99. But I had coupons. So, it was less than that. But still, I go with the full price when I'm figuring everything out. And I just, kind of divide things up. And I think, well, okay, so there's one right there. And then I think, oh, now look, there's, maybe this bead could go up here. So there's another one. And I just kind of try and design them in my head as I look at them. But I've ordered one from Michael's, and it's red. Now this one is quite heavy, but this is a little different one. But I just kind of do the same thing. I'm like, okay, how many pieces are there that can be turned into a tassel? Would it be worth it to put it in my Etsy shop? Or, is it worth it? If I can get 3 pieces out of something, normally I'll buy it. If it's, a good price. But I usually, tell myself I have to be able to get 3 different pieces out of it. So that's how I do it. In case somebody had mentioned the pretty beads I had. And that's how I figure it out. And so I'll probably do a Christmas bazaar this year. So I figured it might be pretty to have these. And they are beautiful. Don't you think? So it's similar to the other, but on this one I cut the chain at 5 3/4 inches. And if you're going to make one of these, my recommendation on the chain is that, I'm going to have to open a different one. To cut the chain and get them all very close in length. Let's see. Let's go with this one. Oh, we already have Alice over here. So let's cut that off because I'm not going to use this as my piece. Okay. So to get your piece, let's see. Let's say we have 10 inches here, or it's not 10. We want 5.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was it 5 or was it 4? 4.5. Okay, 4.5 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So then what I did was I took my little cutters and 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I put my fingers right there and held this tight, and then I nipped the little piece off. And that way, every one of my chains was almost the same size. So, because every time I would use the same measurement. So they're very close. See? Very, very close. And this chain, oh, this is an old one. I bought some yesterday, and they are the Hildy and Joe. 100 inches of chain. This one took almost the full 100 inches. So I thought it turned out really good. I really love it. These bead caps were fun. But I do notice the glass is a little sharp on them. So, you know, and that is one thing with beads, is that they don't always fit perfectly in their little pieces that they've made. So be aware of that. Check things carefully. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you'd like to see how I make another one of these with the long chain, I love the long chain. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is elegant, and it's just simply beautiful, you know. So anyway, I am going to move my Alice stuff over to one of these, but it is a red one that's coming. Different red beads, and I thought that would go great with Alice. Okay, so there we go. Just kind of a little thing we did today. It doesn't, not much, but we've got our little bottles. And let's pull this up a little closer so you can see everything. There's that. Those. The little beads are running around on the table. And here is this one. And here's that one. Oh, you can't see them all. Well, let's just scoot them over. There. Oh, here. Yep. And here. And here. And here. And here. And then we have all the chain, of course. And that's all I have for today. So I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you got something out of this, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.